In our last video, we looked at how to get started writing a journal. Today we're going to look at some different things that we could write inside that journal. There's so many options for what you can add into your journal. I'm going to start by showing you a couple today. You can write details of your day. Maybe it was raining outside, so you stayed inside and you built a Lego village. You can talk about your feelings. Maybe you were sad when it was raining outside, but then when you were creating your Lego village, you had a lot of fun and you were happy. You could choose to write about all the new things you've been learning. We've been learning a lot about plants. Maybe you can choose to write in your journal some of the new things you learned about plants. Another option is to write a review. You could talk about all kinds of different things that you care about in your reviews. Another option would be to write a how-to. And finally, you could write lists in your journal. These could be lists of things you have to do, lists of things you like, or any other kind of list. We're going to look at a couple of these today. The first one we're going to look at is review. How can we write a review in our journals? Well, when writing a review, there's some important things to remember. First thing you have to do is choose a topic to review. You could choose to review restaurants, books, board games, toys, video games, websites, or even movies. The choice is up to you. But when reviewing, there's some important things to remember. First, remember to talk to your reader. You could say things like, "Have you ever?" or "Those are reasons why you should try," or "You don't want to miss." Get your reader involved. Another thing is to give good reasons. You might say, "One reason I like McDonald's is because they have amazing French fries. Another reason I like McDonald's is because they have a fun playground." When you're doing this, you also want to give examples. McDonald's has the best French fries because they are always salty, thin, and fresh. Don't forget to give examples. It makes your writing more convincing. Another thing to do is to make a recommendation at the end of your writing. You could say, "I highly recommend," or "I give blank 5 gold stars," or "blank gets 2 thumbs up." These are different ways that you can write a review. There are so many things you can write in your journal. The other thing we're going to look at really quickly is how to write a how-to. There are all kinds of things that you could write a how-to about. For example, you might write a how-to about how to bake chocolate chip cookies, or how to ride a bike, or how to tie your shoes. There are so many options. There's some important things to remember when writing a how-to also. Remember to include the materials that you would use when doing the thing in your how-to. If you're writing about baking chocolate chip cookies, make sure you tell them the different materials that are needed for that. The next part is sharing the steps. What do you do first? What do you do second? What do you do third? It's important you include these things in order so the person following your how-to doesn't mess it up. Next thing is helpful tips. You might have things that you know how to do because you've made the thing before. For example, with chocolate chip cookies, before I put them in the oven, I always put a couple extra chocolate chips right on top. This helps them look pretty when they come out of the oven. Another thing you need to do is include pictures. Finally, there are some other things to put into your how-to. You could include labels, bold words, keywords, and diagrams. Diagrams would help people understand how you are accomplishing your how-to. Finally, remember all that you already know about nonfiction text features. Then revise or write another idea. And finally, ask someone to do your how-to. This will help you see if you forgot to add anything in. All right, have fun writing.